We're definitely back, Stevie P, to Facebook Frank, to Kim, to Liban, to Renee, to Dave, to Larry, Phil. Guys, thank you very much for patiently waiting. And Stevie P, are you ready? Because we got lots to talk about. It's been 3 weeks.
Let's go.
Let's go. And here we go.
You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Donnarumma and the double, sensational from him.
Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Teo Hernandez al gol! Teo Hernandez! Ancora lui! Una meraviglia!
Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic! Fuori classe assoluto.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome to episode 203, Stevie P, episode 203 of Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything Milan from is it a dream team Milan and PSG? Is it and where we have no money, Milan, and we're not professionals.
Or do we pretend to be?
Guys, it's been a 3 weeks off. Stevie P, Vinny T, always here faithfully. Well, not every Monday. It's been a couple of Mondays we've been off. But Stevie P, how was vacation?
It was okay.
It was okay.
Very tough to take vacation with two kids, and you have to constantly keep them entertained. But we're not going to complain. And it was good to step away from the pod for a bit and recharge and get back and sit back and enjoy the Mercato.
I know you did. And have you found your instant Jello for the promise that you made for the?
It's 30 times I tell you that yes. It's every single time you come to my house, you say the exact same thing.
But guys, it's been it's 3 weeks, guys. We've missed you. We had to take some time off, and there's been a lot of news. But Steve, before we get into news, let's get through some housekeeping stuff. Steve, from the country that gave us, as we said in the video that we sent to us, the country that gave us Supergroup ABBA, to the country that gave us IKEA, and to the country that gave us the Swedish chef on Sesame Street. 10-year anniversary to Milan Club Svezia, Milan Club Sweden, to our friends Vanko and friends, and to admins there. Congratulations, auguri. 10 years running strong. It's great to see these kind of clubs around the world and reaching out to us, and hopefully we get to meet them one day, right, Steve? And congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations to Zvonko and everybody at Milan Club Sweden. 10 years, it's a fantastic achievement for any supporter club. As we know, as admits from Milan Club Montreal, it's not easy, guys. A lot of people think, oh, let's just start a fan supporter club. It's tough, and the old guard that had Milan Club Montreal before, they got a taste of that, right? You need to be able to be flexible and change with the times. And some people, unfortunately, that's not in their wheelhouse, right? So to stay alive for 10 years as a supporter group in Sweden, amazing stuff. Zvonko will retweet the video that Zvonko did with us, and we thank you for including us in the video. I didn't understand how many Milan. I understood a little bit of Swedish now. I can talk Swedish now after going through Zvonko's video. That's for sure. But I never realized how many people write for Milan Sweden. There's like a ton of people, and they got some really good guys. They got Leao to do a little shout out to their club.
Yes, they did.
Suma as well. So super nice U16 coach. Look, that's amazing stuff, and that's just a credit to Svanko and the hard work that the people at Milan Club Sweden, Svezia, put in, and to another 100 years.
And he's a big Montreal Canadiens fan, guy coming from Sweden, loves the hockey. I think he's more of a Canadiens fan than us, but congratulations to them. And to 10 years and to 100, to 100 more, hopefully we get to meet at the San Siro one day with all the Milan clubs around the world. Congratulations, guys. So Zvanko and friends. And on a side note, to the Patreon members, thank you for everything that you guys have been doing for us. I know, joining Patreon, you get some special videos. Steve, I know you haven't watched them, but I've been sharing some videos from my hard drive, a Euro 96, World Cup 94, World Cup 90, all these different kind of videos, and doing the joining me on these group therapy sessions. And we're gonna probably change it up this year, maybe talk about positive stuff. But thank you to Patreon, thank you to everybody, and Milan Club, Milan Weekly Pod on Patreon. Support us. We appreciate everything. So thank you to all 52 members, Stevie P, to supporting us on Patreon. So I just wanted to give them a shout out, especially guys that have been there from the beginning. So merci beaucoup, as we would say here in the Quebec.
Yeah, thank you guys. Any support is greatly appreciated. Either monetary or either just sharing our content with your friends and other Milanese and other Milan clubs around the world who might not know about Milan Weekly Podcast, which I would be very surprised. But the more subscribers, the better it is for us. And it's not a monetary thing for us. We've said it from the beginning. It's to get Milan out in the English eye and the English ears for everybody to see and watch, and we have a good time doing it, so we'll continue to do it. So that's the most important message from me.
Larry's asking that Manscaped renewed the MWP for.
Yes, they did.
Of course, we're gonna plug them in the middle of the show. But Stevie P, we've been off for 3 weeks, and I wanted to throw it out to you. What do you want to start talking about? Do you want to start talking about? I know we have graphics from Sonny. Sonny, again, thank you. The guy does not sleep, Stevie P. He makes us all these graphics. He's come up with the 80s theme arts for this year. As you guys have seen, we're coming back with the Back to the Future inspired graphic. But what do you want to talk about, Stevie P? Do you want to talk about the friendlies so far? Do you want to talk about Mercato? I'm gonna throw you away.
It would be best to go with the friendlies just to get it out of the way, because I've really enjoyed everything that I've seen on Twitter regarding these friendlies.
Okay. So let's talk about the friend. I know there's some Patreon questions about the friendlies. I'm gonna ask you, right? We've played 3 friendlies. We have scored, one. We've had 1-1. We've lost 1-0 on penalties. We did 0-0 against Real Madrid. We had Marcelo fanboying over Maldini. Did you see him take the picture over there? So, hi.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. I love seeing that. But I know that it goes to the questions of Patreon, and you know what? I know you're going to be talking about it, so I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you this. Timmy saying, "Hey guys, it's been a while since Hope All as well." Well, position. Excuse me, not Timmy. Timmy's question is with positions, but Fabio going, let's get right into it. Did anything from the past 2 friendlies give you anything to worry about in the upcoming season? I know we got to be patient with Tonali, but I haven't been impressed so far. Still lacking a right wing and right back backup. I'd say even central attacking midfielder is still lacking. Everyone is optimistic, and I'm holding out hope for one big signing that gives us some real excitement. Steve, to that question and to what you've seen in the friendlies, I know the typical answer would be, hey guys, it's friendlies, let's relax. And I know that in the past, where we had really bad seasons, we won these friendlies. I remember us beating Bayern Munich, if I'm not mistaken. But what do you take from these friendlies, Steve?
The only thing that I can take from these friendlies, and for me, guys, if you don't know, I've never seen the podcast before. For me, friendlies, I agree with Larry. They mean nothing. It's really to showcase the 2 teams. It's basically to get to game speed. It's to go through the paces, play against an opposition instead of playing against your team in a small 11-a-sides or calcetto on the field. They're important. They mean nothing statistically, and what you can get from them is this is the society that we're in now. We want to overanalyze everything. We want to see different formations. We want to see different players. This is getting fine-tuned and being ready for Sampdoria. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So guys are easily going from half an hour to 45 minutes to 60 minutes to 90 minutes. So Magic Mike or Mike Mangione, he played his first full 90 against Real Madrid.
Steve?
Mike Mangione.
Mike Mangione. Okay, go ahead.
Mike Mangione. He played his first 90 minutes against Real Madrid, and people
save a penalty.
Before that, and not only saved the penalty, he looked like he was getting a bit more comfortable in nets, and with the defensive pairing that he has in front of him right now. Remember, these guys and all the new transfers that are coming in need to get in, and need to be able to play with the team that they're newly acquired by. So I've always been a fan of the Mercato being taken care of earlier rather than later. But, there's a lot of things and a lot of chess playing that's going on right now. So in the friendlies, guys, you're gonna see mistakes. You're gonna see, errant passes. For me, I'm not gonna judge right now. Again, it's the famous 10-game mark where are you prepared enough? Are you ready for the Campionato to start? And we saw last year and the year before how important it is to start the Campionato off on the right foot, especially for a team like Milan, as mentally fragile as they are. The only thing that scares me the most about these friendlies are open, no hard tackles, besides Krunic, who decided that he wanted to play football for a period of time, which was not the smartest on his part. But we can't score goals, guys.
And I wanted to. Okay, so a lot of people are talking about scoring goals and not being able to score. Steve, I'm going to ask you. Taking a look at who we have the first 5 games: Sampdoria, Cagliari, Lazio, Juventus, Venezia. I know that we can't take these preliminaries and friendlies seriously, but so far, I know we haven't seen Kessie. I know we haven't seen Ibrahimovic. I know that possibly Giroud is going to play the first game, and a lot of people
Giroud is going to play the first game. You're not seeing whoever.
I think Ibra should not play until the.
He's not playing the first game. Today he said that his recovery is delayed.
It shouldn't be playing against Cagliari. Just take the whole the 2 weeks off from the international break.
No.
But looking at the way the team,
I disagree.
You will make him playing against Cagliari.
We don't have anybody else who scores goals.
Okay.
This is a different season. This is now you're still in last season's mode. So I'm gonna bring
Giroud scored on his first touch, Steve.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it. It's again, it doesn't say anything. As much as I want to take the friendlies for what they're for, I'm not gonna hype into this too much. I'm just gonna tell you guys from the beginning, episode 2 or 3, last year and this year are 2 different, very extremely different years, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Champions League. You, as a Champions League team, one of the top 4 that is going to start this season off, if you start off on the wrong foot in the Campionato, the pressure will build. And the pressure will build for this extremely young team. If I'm not mistaken, second youngest in Serie A last year. The pressure will come to everybody's shoulders. Injuries will happen. The Mercato is not finished. But once you're playing 3 times a week, and it's not Europa League 3 times a week, no disrespect to Europa League, this is Champions League, guys. And if you don't start off on the right foot, and we do not have the depth in this team, August 9th, 2021, to say, we can sit Ibra. Let's sit him, and we won't be able. No. We need to accumulate points. and we need to get to a comfortable spot at the halfway point where we can concentrate and focus on where we're at in Champions League and where we are at in the Campionato. Right now, for Milan, Coppa Italia is in the background. I'm sorry, guys. This is not a team of tripletta. The Coppa Italia is in the background.
I agree, but Stevie P, looking at these 5 first teams, right? You got Sampdoria, Cagliari, Lazio, Juventus, Venezia. What results or how many points would you like to see out of these 5 first games to make you feel like, okay, we're on a good pace?
15.
Guys, you're not going to get 15 points out of these 5 teams, Steve.
Why not? Why can't I get 15 points out of these? Why?
Because you're going to get a hiccup. You're going to get a hiccup.
How do you get
12 out of 15? Are you not happy with 12?
I want 15 points.
Of course, we all want 15 points, Steve.
But that's what I'm telling you. But this is the mentality. I'm not going with last year's mentality anymore. Last year is finished. I told you guys from the beginning. This is my mentality. Champions League, top 4 is the most important thing for this club. We achieved it last year, and we overachieved by finishing second.
Yes, we did.
So now, this year, especially with what we've been seeing going on with the other teams, Juve has not purchased anybody. Lazio and have
still working on Locatelli, Steve.
And they have brought back Allegri, which Allegri and Pirlo, no disrespect to Pirlo, they're two different types of coaches. One, Allegri is that tinker and that tactical guy.
He's a fine tweaker, Steve. Is he not?
It's over the fine tweaking now. Now it's time to win. There's nothing to fine tweak on this team. Now they have to show him he needs to show what Allegri could do. He's going into a team that underperformed last year with the second best player in the world.
So my whole point, he has to fine tweak the team.
Exactly, but last year, did we not beat Lazio?
Yes.
Did we not beat Juventus?
Yeah.
Did we not beat Cagliari?
Mm-hmm.
Did we not beat Sampdoria?
So what I'm asking you, Steve, is that I'm not asking you what you want. I'm asking you, what would you be? Would you not be satisfied with 12 points out of 15?
Right now, at the beginning of the season, well, yeah, I would take 12 out of 15. But there's different ways to get to that 12. That's what you see. Like, that's what you're not understanding. I can get 12 and then lose. I don't want to lose against Juve. I don't want to lose against Lazio. I don't want to drop points. I don't want ties.
But
the mentality has to be to accumulate the most amount of points. So if you ask me, what do you want? I want 15.
I understand you want 15, but out of those 5 teams that we just saw, if
anybody could beat us,
if you were out of those games and you lost against Juventus, you wouldn't be happy?
No, because Juventus is a direct competitor. We saw last year what happened. We saw what happened because Milan beat Lazio, because Milan beat Juventus. All those little formulas of how we could have qualified for Champions League were in our favor. And this year, because we get Juventus Giornata 4, doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get Juventus Giornata whatever it is on the other side.
Yes. As you guys might not know, like the Serie A has changed the complete format. I believe, Steve, it's a minimum 10 games in between. It will not be, if it's Giornata 4, will be Giornata, 22. It can be anytime as long as there's a 10-game streak between them. Correct me if I'm wrong. Kind of like the English Premiership. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stevie B.
I don't know how they really split everything up exactly, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be something more North American style there, where the games are a little bit off-centered, and I think they can either play with the schedule depending with Champions League and so on and so forth. But it's going to be interesting. Is it going to work? The purist in Europe, I guarantee you, will not like it. They will find something wrong with it. Us, because of the North American sports that we watch, we might find it a bit interesting. So I'm curious to see how they're going to do it. I'm curious to see how they're going to split up the schedule, and if they're going to include other days and move games to Thursdays and stuff like that because of Champions League. It's going to be interesting. This is a different season altogether, guys. You wanted the Champions League, we're in the Champions League.
Leave it to Serie A to make a start on a Monday, right? And on that side note, to Milan Club Montreal, anybody in the Montreal area, we will be getting together on the 29th at Chocharo's for the Sunday game at 2:45. Come join us. They're going to have some food prepared for us. We're going to do the membership drive. We're going to take over the whole bar. Please join us. Check your emails. We will be, Presidente will be emailing, faxing you all this information. But Stevie P, we're talking about Serie A and all this thing. And I want to touch base a little bit about how Sonny made our thumbnail. And it's talking about PSG. And look, I really, really, really want to have.
Oh, didn't PSG save European soccer?
Yeah,
remember when we were saying the Super League? Did it for the fans, guys. Did it for the fans.
I wanted to ask you something, and I'm really, really, really trying to see the other side of the coin. I'm trying really hard to understand. I understood why Messi. And, idiots online saying, oh, Messi could have signed for $0. No, even if Messi would have signed for $0, the way I understand it is that your salary cannot make up more than 70% of your total gross. And even Messi signing at $0 should be a 95. Okay. I would like how they have these debunking people on Facebook, Twitter, online, like, these COVID conspiracy, they're debunking all these things. Why can't we have somebody that debunks the financial fair play? Because it seems that the financial fair play, Steve, is a myth. It's a guideline, and I get it that
is it a myth? Is it a myth, or does PSG really have the best financial fair play accountants? Okay, because I'm gonna piss people off. I'm gonna piss people off.
Hold on. Let me ask you. Okay, they got these people for free. I get it. How are they balancing these books? Because people want to talk shit about financial fair play, and they're in the limelight of today's news. So they must be doing something right. Explain that to me. Explain it to me how they're able to sign these players at very high wages. Steve, they have 9 goaltenders signed to this team. It doesn't make any sense. So how are they balancing the books? How are they making it? You're saying like maybe the financial.
I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. And if UEFA doesn't stop them, look, guys, let's face it, guys. Milan did the same thing. Milan of the Berlusconi era did the exact same thing, guys. The Galacticos of the Real Madrid had at one point the real Ronaldo, Zidane, and Figo on the same team. Now,
Beckham.
Okay, we'll add Beckham there too if you want to add him, just because he was probably a pretty big price tag. Imagine those players in today's game, what salary they would command.
But Steve, you're talking about a different time when there was no financial fair play.
It's fine. They found a way to do it, though, in those times.
Okay. But you can't compare Galacticos' salary to the Milan of the late 80s. What was Van Basten doing back in those days?
But you can't compare the salaries, but weren't they not doing the same thing? Weren't they going and get the best players?
Because it was allowed.
And it's still allowed now.
So how is it allowed now when a team like Inter, and it's a shame, Steve. It is a shame. I want to make fun of Inter as much as I want, but
there's nothing to make fun of. There's nothing.
It's a shame.
You cannot blame Inter. You cannot blame Inter. You see, this is where people have a little bit of a problem. Okay? They're looking at, oh my God, Inter. They can't afford it anymore. And they're looking at Lukaku and they're saying, oh, he's running away. Who looks at Serie A and says, you guys have not done enough to take this league that is dinosaurs away from the EPL to a point where these clubs are profitable and making money. Now, did Inter and Suning and whoever else owns Inter, did they not calculate something properly? Did they not have the best financial accountants out there? I would be very surprised that that's the case. Did they not know what they're going into? It's possible. Huge companies make mistakes all the time when purchasing things.
So Lukaku being sold, supposedly like the net profit is about 60 because they have to pay back some Manchester United funds, and it's just.
But again, you're looking at it in a way of they have to pay back. It's always like that.
Okay, but don't tell the fans. Don't tell the fans he's gonna stay.
Yeah, but he didn't. They didn't say that he's gonna stay. They didn't say anything. He said the reporters asked him, "Are you happy at Inter?" He said, "Yes." Inter need to make money. Inter need to get back their money. Berlusconi had no problem going and get back his money. We were mad.
He sold Ibra. He sold Thiago Silva. I get that.
We were mad.
Let me ask you something. If they knew they can sell him, would they have sold Hakimi?
Yes, because they need the money back. They want their money back. Whatever they invested to win that Scudetto, and remember, guys, the sad part is, if you're an Inter fan, is that you were not able to enjoy your Scudetto not even 2 days, because at day 2, Conte was gone.
Was he right? Was he right?
Look, that's his choice. You understand? If he did, but Conte's known for that. He wants to spend the club's money like as if it's his own. Unfortunately, Mr. Conte, you need to understand that there's a business behind here. And it's not Conte's money, it's Sun Ying's money. So if Conte wants to do what he wants to do, tell him to go buy his own club.
So where do you take Presidente's comments when he messaged me, you, and Sonny about like this is criminal what they did? It's criminal to have done what they've done to win the Scudetto and just have to fire sell everybody.
Eder said it the best. Eder's article, and everybody, I did not know of this article. I only saw it after. Eder basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, he was playing for Sun Ying's team in China, and they did the same thing. They went balls deep to win the championship and then dissolved the club. Now, dissolving the club in China, no offense to Chinese soccer, is impactful. Yes, there's a lot of fans there. But now you're kind of doing the same thing to Inter, where they went balls deep for 2 years, got into debt, tried to get money, can't get money, and now you need to sell. Is it criminal? If it gets to the point where, guys, we were in this not too long ago. We're acting like as if this never happened to us. Like, that's the thing that I don't understand about Milan Twitter. I don't understand about people having these conversations. This happened to us. And we were even in worse condition. We had someone who wasn't even real.
Let me ask you this, Steve. If it wasn't for COVID, do you think that Inter would have had the revenue from the fans and the stadium?
I don't think so. I think COVID is a scapegoat. COVID is a scapegoat because, yes, you know, revenue does hurt. The fans do bring in revenue in terms of there, but it's the TV deal, Vinny. Let's face it here, guys. Yeah. Let's be honest with each other, guys. The TV deal that Italy has, and we saw it. Canada, we didn't know. There's fans in Canada. There's fans. The US, they knew what was happening.
Do you have a baseball in your hand?
Yes, I do. It's a Montreal Expos baseball. They have to understand, and they have to know. In the US, they knew it was going to be Paramount. It's going to be CBS. We knew that already. They took care of that larger audience. There is, and what we try to do as you know, as a podcast, as someone who creates content, we try to tell them, hey, we're here too in Canada, and we still don't know exactly who is going to have the rights. That's sad, Vinny.
It is.
How do you get sponsors on board? How do you get? Let me finish. How do you get sponsors on board? How do you get people to stick to Serie A and believe in Serie A. You understand?
And now, a fan of Serie A, Steve, us Canadians, if you do want to follow Serie A, you're going to have to pay, because DAZN is not carrying Serie A anymore. You're going to have to pay $15 to $16 a month for Fubo TV. Then you're going to have to pay DAZN for Champions League because you want to follow your team in Champions League.
But that's not their problem. That's not Serie A's problem. Serie A's problem is they're not getting enough money for the product that they're putting out on the
Why is it easier for me to watch a game of Wolverhampton's and Bournemouth than a Milan Champions League game, Steve? I'm sorry.
Because you discredit Wolverhampton and Bournemouth. Because Wolverhampton and Bournemouth, whatever you want to call them, probably have better stadiums than 90% of Serie A.
That I'll give you 100%.
They generate money.
Frank saying TLN, TLN in Canada will be showing approximately 3 games a week, but for all the other games,
it's not for sure. It's not. They still didn't announce it there, but it looks like it's TLN and.
Well, the way we look at it is that if it's not DAZN, it's got to be there. It's just, and then you go back to the Jack Grealish, Steve, at £100 million. Like, how does that make any sense to you? Like, is it because the English Premiership is so
okay? You say how does that make any sense? If I come to you today, Vinny, and I say, you know what, I want to buy your car for $100 million, what are you going to tell me? No.
Why is the offer $100 million, Steve?
Why not? I want to give you $100 million.
So
I want your car. I want your car.
If my Chevrolet Cruze is worth $100 million, what precedent are you setting for the Chevrolet Impala?
Well, why are you making it a precedent though? Like, what? This is a business, Vinny.
So Chiesa is worth what then? If Grealish is worth $100 million, what is Chiesa worth?
Whatever someone was willing to pay for it. You're taking this like all personal for no reason. Manchester City said we want Grealish. Aston Villa said I want $100 million. They probably said I want $120 million. It's Manchester City to say no, I'm not going to buy that. But Manchester City is in a position where, you know what? I could afford.
Is he worth $100 million?
Personally, no. There's no one who's worth $100 million. But this is the business. This is the problem is much higher than the leagues. The problem is at the UEFA level. UEFA wants to protect. UEFA wants to control. But UEFA is not controlling everybody. They're controlling only the people that they choose, they wish to control.
They did it for the fans, Steve. They did it for the fans. They got rid of the Super League for the fans, right?
Well, look, that's the media, right? And that's the way they spun it. So
speaking on this business side, right? If we read and believe what we've seen on Twitter, and would you have accepted $80 million for Theo Hernandez? I would have. Supposedly, Milan refused $80 million for Theo Hernandez. Now,
again,
$80 million,
it's their choice.
Understandably, but there's a side of me that goes, holy shit, $80 million for Theo Hernandez? Yes, but then there's the other side going, well, if a guy like Grealish is going for 100, yeah, I'm not going to take 100. And I think that's where our paradox is, and like, what do you do? What do you do?
It's where you are in your project. Right now, Inter in their project, they need back their money. Their finances say that. We were at a point where, you know what, we still are. You see the deals. Everybody made fun of us. All of Inter fans made fun of us. Oh, another loan with option to buy. Another loan with option to buy. Maldini behind him, as much as we love him, there's a room of people, Gazidis included, where finances need to take precedent over what's going on. And that's why you play your scouts. That's why you pay people to get you on those cheap deals. We can't go to the Berlusconi era. This is what I try to tell people. The Berlusconi era, yes, was different because there was no financial fair play. And we saw that with the debt that he took on in his own self through Finvest and whatever he did. But us as fans, we want to play FIFA in a world of business. Like the Presidente said, you want to play FIFA and you love Mercato. I love Mercato because Mercato is like a drama. It's like a loose sitcom. You see 80 million. I don't believe that there was a bid for 80 million.
Okay. So explain this to me, Steve. How is it that Jack Grealish gets sold for 100 million, but Juventus has a hard time for a month and a half trying to sign Locatelli for 30? How does that make any sense to you?
Juve needs to balance their books too.
So why is nobody going on? Why isn't the EPL offering 60, 70 million for Locatelli?
Because they don't think that he's worth 60, 70 million.
But Jack Grealish is?
Apparently. It's the same thing where everybody says, buy Italian. Someone buy Italian. But Italians are not stupid. Unfortunately, it happens to everybody, and especially Milan. Every time Milan is interested in someone who's from the Serie A, the price is quadrupled.
And it's really unfortunate.
The defender
we read
from
an article, right, Steve, about Italian players being super high priced and all this
super
stuff.
high priced, and they want us. But unfortunately, it's not the same for a team like Juve. And we see the Chiesa deal. Fiorentina did them a favor. What's in it in the background? We don't know. But Milan doesn't go into those deals. 40 million for Fiorentina center back when Fiore wanted to get rid of him, Milinkovic. Now he's going to West Ham for 12. So West Ham for 12, yes, but Milan for Milan 40. I understand Fiorentina. You don't want to strengthen a direct competitor, but you did the same thing with Juventus, and Juve and Fiorentina would never make that type of move.
Yeah.
So that's the strange part. That's the interesting part that I really like about Mercato is why those deals happen. Why does that happen?
Can we get a financial fair play professional to come on to the podcast? We'd really love to hear from you and explain to us all these different deals. But Steve, talking about
Sabrina, actually a fellow Patreon. Sabrina,
first ever.
Sabrina is really, really well educated on financial fair play.
Sabrina, we're shouting out to you. Let's have a Patreon special with you because you're the first ever Patreon. Let's talk about finances. We really like to let's see both sides of the coin. But Steve, talking about specials, right? There's a lot of 100 million euros being thrown here and the specials here, option to buy. But CVP, what these people should be getting as a deal is our Manscaped deal, right? They need to use the MWP. Like Castillo for sure. He's used our code, Steve. You've seen his Instagram stories, and the sun's out, bums are out. Hopefully, your pubes are not out. Also, flip-flop season is upon us, and you're here with those post-pandemic toenails. Don't worry, our friends at Manscaped have you covered. They just launched their 4th generation performance package and their Shears 2.0 nail grooming kits, TVP. Join the Manscaped movement by going to manscaped.com. 20% off free shipping with the code MWP. Listen to this, Steve. Listen how beautiful it is, right? So the Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. The trimmer will change your posture grooming routine. It includes features like advanced skin-safe technology to reduce grooming accidents. You don't want ingrown hairs or snags on your boys before beach season. They call it the hot boy summer, Steve. And the Lawnmower 4.0, 7,000 RPM, and it's got the 4K LED light. It comes even with the weed whacker. You got to put it inside your nose. 9,000 RPM, 360-degree rotary dual blades. But thank you to our friends at Manscaped. They have so many great products. Steve, look how beautiful this package is. Look,
the packing and the marketing
wireless charging. You got Steve, the cologne, very nice. Very nice. You got even the anti-chafing for the balls, After shaving, you put la crema. You got to make sure that, the boys are taken care of. But I've been using them since we got them, Steve, and I can't say anything about Manscaped. And as the graphic says, cleared for takeoff. Thank you, MWP, the code, 20% off and free shipping. Steve, you've got a couple of their products, yeah?
Yeah, use the code. Really good products, fantastic marketing, great stuff from the guys at Manscaped. We see them everywhere, and that's just what marketing does. And that's the part of Serie A that lacks very, very much, but not at Manscaped, where they put that razor in your face.
There we go. So thank you to them. So Stevie P, I wanted to let's go directly because I know we look at this. We're already 42 minutes in, and we haven't talked about your favorite subject, Mercato madness. Let's start off with Kessie, Steve. Since we've taken our time off, right? There was the rumors about, a 5.5 million, 6 million. If Kessie doesn't sign for Milan, it will be a coup d'état, as they would say it. Kessie coming out from the Olympics saying, I'm coming back to Milan. I'm going to sign this contract no matter what. Great to hear. But Steve, what do you believe more in? The 5 point? He deserves it. Just give it to him, right?
Yeah, look, these are salaries that, if you compare them to the other leagues and you see Lukaku leaving for 12, 5.5 needs to be something digestible, and it's more than the 5.5, guys. I know we see that Milan is really trying to control they're trying to control the wage bill on their team and not make it get out of control, thus not giving Donnarumma the money that he wants, and trying to purchase guys who do not demand high wages. So Kessie at 5.5 for a couple of years, I think, is something that Milan and Elliott could digest and should digest.
And not paying for the entourage, and I think that was the big deal breaker with Caio. What was his name? George. From
because
Brazil.
apparently everything's
They
free.
paid
right?
the mother. They paid the mother. They paid the whole the entourage. So in the end, Kessie, let's give him what he wants. I believe it's going to be a 5.5, Steve, with bonuses. Kessie, he carried the team on his back, Steve. Honestly, he did, and I don't have a problem with paying him that amount of money. Isco, Steve. Before we get into Isco, Florenzi. This came out today. I liked the news. I really did. I think from what I've gathered that he knows he would be, second fiddle to Calabria. And I remember somebody tweeting out he's gonna keep Calabria on his toes, right? To battle for that starting lineup. And he can play. He can play, Steve, that the left wing position if needed. What do you think about these rumors? And supposedly it's a done deal.
So it's right wing, but
Right wing, sorry.
Look, if Florenzi comes in, and I love these deals again, no one thought or knew or heard about Florenzi, so kudos to Maldini and company for keeping that under wraps. I think it's a really sneaky move where you grab him on loan and then you have an option to buy. So keeping Calabria, we have to just worry now. There's a lot of games. We need to get him some rest, and I think they feel comfortable with a Florenzi type on the right hand side. Seems like if we get Florenzi, that means bye Dalot. I don't think we're gonna sign Dalot, and if Florenzi is for just that depth at right back, yes, I agree. Great signing. If Florenzi is that signing from now to the second week of August or third week of August, where Mercato closes, where he's going to be the backup or the depth at the right wing and right back position, I hate the transfer.
For me, I prefer Florenzi to Dalot. I know that Dalot was asking, not him asking, but the money wise. But hey, if he's gonna bring some depth to the team, I know he's 30 years old. He can bring that experience, and especially with all these games that we're having. Before we get to Isco, Steve, I love the Castillejo, right? How come we have? And I watched them against Real Madrid, Steve. There was a point where Diaz had a fantastic run inside the second half. And then he passes to an open Samu, and he just showed on like nobody's gonna who's offering us money for Samu. I love the kid's heart, but Steve, he's got to be like a third choice winger, is he not?
Right now, he's the only winger. That's the problem. So the Mercato better find me an Ilicic very fast, or the Chelsea player Z. We're gonna call him Z because I'm gonna mispronounce his name. And I don't mind guys like that, Ilicic and Z, where they can play multiple positions. You could put them on the wing, or you can put them right behind the strikers, and gives you different options for the formations. But Samu, guys, we didn't hide our displeasure with Samu last year, where the work rate was high, but just wasn't good enough at times where we really need him to be good enough. I see Salchicha Maker too on the right hand side. Again, high work rate. Really, I think he has more upside than Samu. So for me, I'm really, really interested on what's the next step for Salchicha Maker.
Steve, Jamie's telling you it's Ziyech.
Still gonna mispronounce his name, so we're gonna call him Z. But he's someone that from the Ajax days when Chelsea bought him, I was really impressed with him. Now, was he a byproduct of that Ajax team, where a la Atalanta, a la other people that sell their players after just cannot perform? But you sign in at Chelsea, and they do not think twice. The revolving door in the position has 2 or 3 players deep that can take your place right away. And I think also when he was signed from Ajax, he was injured.
Definitely.
So
I wanted to ask you, Steve. You mentioned him, and I was really surprised. About 10 days ago, we had a Patreon special and talked about news. Nobody was in favor of signing Ilicic, and I was the only one. Where do you feel on Ilicic?
That's why we should not have Patreons. That's why we should not have Patreons in that.
I don't know where the news was 10 days ago, but Ilicic always played well against Milan.
But it's not playing well against Milan. It's not that. It's the
but I'm saying I never saw him. Yeah, the experience, and I've never seen him play badly. And I don't know how he doesn't fit into Atalanta's team, but I would take Ilicic with a heartbeat.
Look, Atalanta, it's Gasperini's team. We saw the same thing with Papu Gomez, and we're seeing it with Ilicic. There needs to be it seems like it's Gasperini's way or the highway. And at Atalanta, the boat at a certain period of time is going to have to reset. That cycle will stop. We see them making smart moves. As much as you guys know that I'm not a big fan of Atalanta, especially Gasperini, but I am a fan of the way they do business. So, Romero to Tottenham wants to pay, they pay, boom. They replace him with Demiral from Juve. Same thing with Golina, the goaler. They made their move. They decided that they were going to go ahead with Udinese's Musso. And look, Golina goes, they make money off that, and they replace him with a very cheap and Serie A experienced goaler. So, but a guy like Ilicic, guys, yes, it's not flash, it's not dance, but who do you want, though? We get young players, and we have trouble with giving them time. A la Tonali, everybody wants to kill them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
we get veteran players, and we say they're too old. Guys, these guys here, if you have Serie A experience, and you look at, I'm not a stats guy, but if you look at Ilicic's stats, always for the past couple of years has always contributed. Is he a byproduct again of Atalanta's system? Maybe, but he's that right wing right now. If Ilicic signs up tomorrow, Ilicic is the best right wing we have. So why would you say no to that?
Exactly.
It's not like we have anybody else.
We have the situation that we have, and with the money, I would definitely take Ilicic. Steve, before we get into Isco, very quickly, Bakayoko, yes, no?
I didn't like Bakayoko at Napoli last year. I was not in favor of Milan going after him again. I'm still not in favor of going after Bakayoko again, just because I think that now it's over that dream, right? And he played bad, and then he played great. Like it's great, but
How
I
much
think
would you take him at?
at that position, I'm not. I don't want. I don't want. I think we could spend our money somewhere else. I saw earlier in the chat, if you're going to take someone like Bakayoko, yes, does have some experience, but not much, guys. He barely played at Chelsea, came to Milan, sucked, then played well, then left, back to Chelsea. They didn't want him. Back to Napoli. So, I'd rather give experience to someone like Podbeg and give Tonali those minutes than give
Yeah.
them to Bakayoko, because the future is Tonali, Podbeg.
The money that you would spend on Bakayoko, put Pobega in, and put that money towards Isco. Steve, it's been a couple of articles I've read. Isco possibly in between. I don't know if you've read 15 to 20. Not part of Ancelotti's plans. What do you think about Isco?
Look, guys, Isco is one of those class players. He has that. Medzi yesterday from the Milan Club Montreal chat. He's kind of that artsy type of fantasista player. Does he look like himself? Well, you saw again. We don't take the friendlies very seriously. But Isco, when fit and when motivated, Isco is something else, guys.
Yeah.
Isco is that the through ball guy, is that guy who can hold up play, is that guy who has the smarts, who's played at Real Madrid, a shirt as heavy, if not heavier, than one of Milan's. Played in the Champions League, won the Champions League. Guys, this is the experience that if you take, and again, we'll give you the North American comparison, especially for people in Montreal and people who watch hockey. We saw the Canadians go on a run. The Canadians decided at the deadline they wanted to take Corey Perry. Corey Perry, if you do not know, won the Stanley Cup with the Anaheim Ducks. Is he a fantastic player? In his day, yes. But now with age, things change. But Isco, for me, looking at him yesterday too, he seems like someone who needs, in Italian we say,
spark.
New air. Nuova aria. He needs some new life, something different, somewhere where he can be at least a contributor and a focal point. And again, Hakan did what he had to do and helped when he had to help Milan. But if you tell me Hakan and Isco, I take Isco every day.
Avec les yeux fermés, as we would say, Stevie P. And people are liking your Pogbag pronunciation of Pobega. And guys, this is Stevie P. This is the way it's going to be. And I really wish that we would have signed that Georgian player, Steve, because I posted on Twitter that time. I just can't wait. And I'm like, watch Steve pronounce his name perfectly fine with a Georgian accent. But hoping we get some good last name players, so we can have some fun. Stevie P, let's go through Patreon. Timmy saying it's been a while. Hope all is well. What position realistically do you see Milan finishing in? Do you think we have the potential for the Scudetto? Which rumored signings would you like to see? So we've talked about the rumored signings, but Steve, I like his question. What do you see as finishing right now?
Top four is really hard to. There's 7 teams in there that right now, what's happening with the Mercato, with Inter, with Roma, with Juventus, with Milan, guys,
Steve,
it's
I'm sorry.
really hard.
If Inter the way they got depleted, I don't see how we can finish top 2.
Look, we can, but
Allegri might I still find him that fine tweaker, but I don't see any other teams in Serie A that could outperform us.
Look, right now we're just not deep enough. That's why I say
I'll give you that.
We're not deep enough. And it's the same problem that we had last year. We're just not deep enough, and an injury away from, between 1st and 5th, you're an injury away. So my mindset again is, now Champions League, we have that what we wanted last year. We want Champions League. We got Champions League. Now it's to build consistency. I want to again qualify for Champions League, but now I'm getting a bit greedy now. So if I'm Elliot and I put myself in Elliot's shoes, again, they're American, so they have to see it. They would have to see it the way a North American would see it.
Yeah.
This is a window of opportunity. Last year, you finished second with this team. You wanted to qualify for Champions League. You did.
By the skin of our teeth.
By the skin of our teeth, but you did. Now, if you look at this team and you honestly look at this team, what do you need to take that next level? And what you see what happened at Inter, and you see what's not happening at Juve besides replacing an inexperienced coach with an experienced coach. And you see what's happening with teams like Atalanta, where they're strengthening and they're making money and selling and still saying the same. You have to understand that you have to see that maybe, this would be a good window if you want to splash some cash if the deals are right.
Let's put it this way: the way Milan kind of like at the winter transfer window last year, kind of like let's hope for the best. It ain't gonna work this year, right, Steve? If we're like in that middle of the pack, and look, we were first. No, sorry. By winter, we were winter champions. I believe we were, right? Yes, we were. But I think, Young saying like Roma, you got to take into consideration. Mourinho's a factor, is he not, Steve? Mourinho has to be a factor, but maybe with the players
I
that
have
he
to
has,
see
I'm
it
not
to
sure.
believe it. I don't believe it. He was a factor at Manchester United. He was a factor at Tottenham. I enjoy Mourinho and I like Mourinho's style and I like what he does. I just think that he's having trouble adapting to today's soccer. And this is what's hurting him. At Manchester United, he had the tools, he had the money, he had what he needed. At Tottenham, he had some tools. They may not want to give him the money. But if you look at it, Manchester United, they won the Europa League, but failed to qualify for Champions League. So for them, that's a failure. Tottenham, completely out of Champions League. That's a fail again. At Roma, you don't have the open pocketbooks there. And that's another club that they have to be careful with their finances. So
we shall see what happens this year. Yusuf was asking the same kind of question. What do you see as objective for next season? But how about in all competitions, Steve? How about Champions League? What would you be happy with in Champions League? As speaking from your head and not from your heart.
I want them to qualify out of the group stage. And
would
once you get
happy?
to the knockout round, you really it's a coin toss, right? Depending on who you get, and depending on what kind of form you're in the league, and again, what's important, right? Solidifying another Champions League spot, or you want to go further in Champions League. But guys, I'm going to be really honest here with the team that we have now. Getting out of the group is already a huge step, especially for how young we are, and again, the lack of depth. Getting out of the group is going to be a great experience. And Jamie brings up a good point there. Zaniolo back for Rome is a big tool for them too.
Definitely.
Again, I hope he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Exactly. I hope he stays healthy.
Because that guy would have been part of the Euro team, Steve.
Yeah, he would have been part of the Euro team. But Jamie, I don't think Zaniolo is enough for Rome.
David saying, "Hey guys, hope you enjoyed your time off, but please never do this to me again." Okay, obviously these friendlies are just warm-up games for Milan to start experimenting. But after what we've seen, which area is the most important to invest in? Let's say Milan has only one signing to do. Which area is the most important and why? As always, Forza Milan. So he's saying from what we've seen in the friendlies, one position, Steve. What is that one position you sign?
Can't answer that question because it's not one position that we need.
It's the
guard
right
on
wing. Right wing.
It would have to be right wing, but again, you're rolling the dice.
But if you only stuck like here's the money for one signing, you're Masada and Maldini. Would it not be
We
the right
all know
way?
that you don't need money to make a signing, guys.
That's true. That's true. Because Maldini is going with there. He's gonna sweet talk you, and he's gonna let me
No,
take a
it's
picture
the,
with
it's
you.
the loan, guys. It's the loan. We have to go that way. Inter went that way to get to the Champions League and continued. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them, as we can see now. But they went. Give me anybody that you want on loan for the time being till I got out of this financial fair play hell that they were in, or purgatory.
You know what? Because Chevy is our first ever Twitter question, Steve. Might as well.
Twitch.
Twitch. What'd you guys think about the attacking midfielder Yassin Adil offer from Milan? I'm not gonna pretend I know his name, Steve, but supposedly great prospect, a 10 to 15 million from I believe he's from Lille, if I'm not mistaken. Bordeaux. Sorry, Bordeaux. Do you?
I don't know enough
Anything?
about him there, Chevy there, but reading up on him a little bit today, guys. This is the Milan profile, right? Young. They were comparing him to Rabiot. Please don't. I hope he doesn't come with Rabiot's mother. But someone that young with a lot of presence in the league. Look, it's an interesting profile. If the price is right, yeah, I'm interested, and we see exactly what they can do in Serie A. But again, Liga and Serie A is two different leagues, and traditionally, it does take some patience. And we saw with the Hogan, people are going to get very, very emotional when if it doesn't work out right away.
It looks like he's going to be signed tomorrow. We signed him for 6, I believe, and I'm going to sell him for 12. We'll see what goes from over there. I was still a believer in the kid. You were like he wasn't good enough, but we'll see what happens in the next coming days.
It's not that he wasn't good enough, Vinny. We see, and young.
He wasn't made. You kept on saying he wasn't made for Serie A. He wasn't good. And I'm going to keep on going to that Sampdoria game. That if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be fighting for the Serie A. And it's easy for me to go to Hauge. We didn't give him enough of a chance, just the way the young players that we've seen in the past. But then, like you said, other than that Sampdoria game, you watch him play, and it wasn't that great in those games, which I get. But has he had a chance to adapt? We've given that chance to Leao. Why can't we give that chance to Hauge?
It's a different price tag. And there's also someone knocking at your door for Hogue, and no one knocking at your door for Leao. So that's the big thing. You doubled your money in terms of whatever it doubled. I'm saying doubled just in simple math. There's probably a complicated formula of what we had to give back to the Norwegian team for actually buying him if there was a percentage of resale. But this comment from Young is spot on.
I like it. That's spot on, Young. Young, where are you from? Let us know where you're from, Young. Yeah. I love this. Like, good 11.
Right now, it's exactly that. If we stay the way we are now, good 11, decent 15, very weak 22. So if you don't have 22, not great players, but at least, the Florenzi type where they know their role and do what they need to do when they come on, you're going to have trouble, and I'm seeing a lot, Stefano Gattuso, Jamie, and Berardi, Young talking about Berardi. I'm a Berardi fan, guys. You saw in the Azzurri Weekly podcast, I think he was, stock level really rose. If not for Chiesa, I think Berardi's stock really rose during the Euro. But
nobody's
again,
knocking on his door, Steve.
It's not because Sassuolo, they know that they're gonna cash in, right? So again, 25-30 million. Young puts it right as well. Milan not into that. I don't know why, but 25-30 million would be a bit too rich for this. We're not gonna spend that. But I would be a fan of Berardi right wing. Yeah.
Where's the Condor when we need him? Husney, Rock Nation Husney saying, hello, Vinny and Steve. It's good to have you both back. During these preseason games, I've hoped to see experiments such as Kalulu as potential central defensive midfielder and Tonali or Pobega as a central attacking midfielder, maybe even Rebic as right wing. However, it seems to be a lot of the same play. Other than for match fitness, how much do you rate our preparation for the coming season? Forza Milan. He's right. Like there hasn't been that much experimenting, and do you think it's more of Pioli playing it safe, Steve?
I don't know. I just don't. I don't see a lot of
You know what, Steve? Let me
experimentation.
just stop you right now. This is what I love, guys. Look at this. Young is from Singapore. Hey, from Malaysia. We have a Singapore Milan supporter group going on here. Like how we're bringing these Milan fans all together from around the world. I love this kind of stuff. But I will. Sorry, I love this connection from people. But Steve, is it too much of same old thing with Pioli? Should he have experimented? Not take a chance against teams like like the Valencias or the Real Madrid.
Well, look, there's nothing wrong. It doesn't really matter. I think his main goal is to get them ready for Sampdoria. Uh, we don't know what happens in practice. Does he experiment in practice? There's not a lot of friendly games that they play. So, look, again, he's the coach. They pay him for that. That's the big bucks. And you know what? I agree. I would have liked to see some players playing in different positions just to see what they would do, and in case of injury, we could slot them in. But I think you saw, and especially like someone like Rebic coming back from late to this thing, he needs the minutes at left wing because he did not look good either. He looked like he was way behind in his preparation. So I think preparation is number one on Pioli's list of what he wants to do. Then experimentation, I think it's left to practice.
Definitely. To Fabio's question, we answered at the beginning. Gio never asks questions, Steve. Well, deserved time off. Can't wait for tonight's show. Just wanted to say I love seeing that armband on Calabria. That's all I have to say. He doesn't even have questions. He just wants to let us know. Gio sent us a nice picture of him drinking some beer yesterday. He's one of us. And remember that Gio, even though from California, not Italian by birth, but Steve, he's a Franco Baresi guy. He was at the finals of the 1994 finals in California there. So kudos to him. And what is Nathan saying? Condor will probably be having dinner with Jorgen. Yeah, the Condor will probably try and negotiate with Messi. But Steve,
but let's be a little bit nostalgic here, okay?
Okay.
If Milan was owned by Berlusconi,
Messi would have been playing for Milan.
Messi would be playing for Milan right now.
Yes, they would. And it sucks, but it's the truth. It really is.
Yeah.
JD saying, Romagnoli's situation, we can't afford to let him walk for free. There hasn't been much talk on sorry, you put him like Romagnoli we're keeping, Steve, or we're not? Because if Kajar gets hurt or anybody he's our captain. He's never talked. I don't know. Like I don't see us selling him, and
he needs to stay, but they need to figure out what his place is, what his role will be. He can't be the captain and sit on the bench. You can't play him just because he's the captain. So, look, Romagnoli, is there a window to sell him? Someone where you can get back some money? Yeah, I think there would be people interested in the Romagnoli type. He is a left-footed center back, so but they have to fix their contract, right? So,
Larry saying Milan would be broken like Barcelona if Berlusconi was still around. Yes,
that's true too.
Yes, that's true as well. And if
but
you guys,
but Larry, we would have a shit ton of fun going down that rabbit hole, right?
On a side note, Steve, I know that you retweeted on our Twitter page. Somebody had made like a thread about Barcelona from great thread, guys. If you guys go have a read at it, how they got to this point here, and explaining how even if Messi would have signed for $0, how they couldn't make it happen. But Steve, let me close off on this. PSG, is it a dream team or not? If they sign Messi.
it's gonna be the closest to a
The
dream team.
Galacticos era.
Yeah, I think Real Madrid is still better.
The Galacticos era is better because defensive wise, you look at PSG's defense in that dream team. See, I don't know. Like to me,
Yeah,
it's not.
but I don't even consider Hakimi a defenseman. So
No. So
you know they have I think right now a couple of top 10 players in there right now in the world.
and to CL from India, we're all over the place, Steve. We're all over the place. Why don't we go for or the kid will be ruling French midfield? His price tag is 22 million. He's 22. We have no money. We have no money, CL.
I
So
think
if
the
he's 22,
finances don't work for that.
Maldini is going to offer, and Massaro is going to ask for 4 million, maybe amortized on the several years. But Stevie P, let's finish this off. Do you have any indigestions or brioche for this week? I didn't think of any, but I know it's going to come to mind. Brioche has to be. I don't know. Let's go with indigestion. Indigestion of the week. Indigestion. It's got to be PSG spending and nobody explaining anything to us and leaving us fans, But the Super League, it was demolished for the fans.
You want an explanation for why does Vince Tavernais have to get an explanation from PSG?
Because I would like to have an explanation. If you're going to tell me about financial fair play, if you're going to tell me teams like Milan, like Inter, like Roma had to pay penalties, stay out of Champions League and Europa League because of these penalties, explain to me, help me understand how a team like PSG, they're not transfers because you're getting them for free. Explain to me how you're able to pay these players. That's it. That's the only thing I want to know. You know how they have
They
these
don't have to give you
debunkers?
that explanation, though.
Of course, they have to give me an explanation because UEFA is putting a rule to all these teams.
But right now, that rule doesn't exist.
Anyways,
So no one has to give you an explanation for anything.
I want an explanation. Any indigestions for you?
No, just everybody blaming. I saw the whole thing with with Messi, and they're blaming Messi, and then I kind of felt bad for him at a certain point because I think the emotions were real and true.
He sacrificed.
But then it didn't win over a lot of fans by turning around the next day and going to PSG and getting 25 million a year.
He's not there. He's not
He's
there
not there yet, but I'm saying that this didn't work, right? So I just think that he shouldn't be criticized. I think he should be able to do what he wants to do as the best player in the world. We've seen it. We've seen it in all sports. People push. Basketball is huge on these super teams, and I think I wouldn't call PSG right now a dream team. I call them kind of like a super team. They're trying to get.
Watch them win shit, Steve. I have
It's
a
okay.
feeling.
It's very possible.
And I'm gonna laugh.
Just because they have these pieces doesn't necessarily mean that they won't have any problems. That's a lot of egos to manage in there. Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi to start, and then you have the other guys who brought PSG there, and not had the chance or will lose their starting spot. So
feel good moment of the week, Steve. I'm gonna have to go with that video today of Marcelo from Real Madrid, like fanboying on Maldini. Is just, hi, can I get a picture? He's just like this, and Maldini's like, yeah, come over here. And he's just sitting next to him. That was a great little thing to see. I love seeing that kind of stuff, and that's what makes football, soccer great. Any
feel good moment of the week is Mercato madness is in full effect right now.
Oh yeah, you're just
full effect, and this is something that I didn't expect. I would not have thought for 1 minute that, and I did not believe that Messi was going to leave Barcelona. I don't think he thought that he was going to leave Barcelona.
He was made to leave, yeah.
But hey, look, guys, in the end, they're going to say that Leonardo had the best Mercato ever. Guys, it's easy to go to the grocery store with a blank check.
Was it Conte going
Yeah,
to
Conte. He wants to go to the
oh,
restaurant with only 10-year-olds. But
with a
his
100 euro
analogy
cover?
his analogy was stupid. Mine is much better. It's very easy to go to the grocery store with a blank check, and it doesn't take a genius. You know what? I would put myself out there that Steve Polillo in Leonardo's shoes would be able to make the same deals. Not very hard to decide to go after Ramos. Not very hard to be the richest team in Europe and not go after the best player.
And who else is going to be able to pay him, right? So we shall see what this year's championships give us. Hopefully we get a competitive Serie A. And by the way, Steve, did you see the FIFA rankings? Belgium is still first.
Waste of time.
That would be my inner George Costanza as Fujisama. Help me understand. How is Italy, still bottom, what are we, fourth or fifth? But Brazil is still second. Belgium is first. These are the Coca-Cola FIFA rankings. Anyways, that could be another indigestion. Stevie P, it's great to see you back. It's been 3 weeks. We will see each other next Monday. Sabrina, if you're listening to this, let's have a Patreon special. Finances. You know what, Steve? How about Sabrina and Presidente on the same podcast? You think there'll be a lot of numbers?
That's going to be a lot of numbers, and those are the financial specialists.
So stay tuned to hit those subscribe, guys. Hit the subscribe. We'll let you know for the next podcast. But Steve, it's been great. 3 weeks off, episode 203. I don't even know how we got to this amount. If we have to calculate Red Card Weekly, what will we be at? Probably 500?
I don't know, but end the show.
Ovunque e sempre, gentlemen.
Forza Milan!
Forza Milan, guys.
Vincerai, non ti lasceremo mai.